Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to get. Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to give another Star Wars Andor review, Episode 5, also known as the Axe Forgets, in which we follow up from the second episode of this current story arc, and where Andor does pretending to be someone called Clem, does a mercenary heist with a group of rebels who do not exactly trust him and all that stuff. Where shall we see it goes? Well, the end of it first starts with Andor interacting, I think, with I believe his name is, Avro Skitten, a human well, I shouldn't really let's just go with Wikipedia, but yeah, let's see, who has been cleaning his weapons out of Val's orders and starts to notice a few things. Here the two end up having a bit of a backstory about it, and we learn from Arthur Scan that he lost his brother, I think it was a farmer, to the Empire and wants revenge and all that stuff. Let's see, Gammon gives him his backstory about being in a sort of, prisoner for 3 years, but he doesn't seem to buy it. During then, we also end up learning that, the two young rebels, let's see what their names are. Karis Nemec, and is a true believer in the rebel cause and all that stuff. I think he even explains his philosophy to Andor a bit later in the episode and all that stuff. And that someone called and the other young member, Sunita Kaz, is as strong as they come and all that stuff. So yeah, and it's described as stone cold, fearless, and probably the toughest member of the team and all that stuff, which is probably a good thing since she's the healer. And that the Imperial, rebel spy, if you will. Gaunt was once a true believer in the Empire's cause, but fell in love with a local woman who was eventually killed, and I accidentally turned on my TV. Silly me. In Lost Faith, in the regime after the woman he loved in this planet died, so he became a spy. And the other guy seems to, well, I don't actually know much about the other guy, but I think that he ends up training the others to act and walk like Imperial soldiers. But yeah, which Andor has some disagreements of how they do their arm, how they hold their arm and all that stuff. Even a close call with a TIE fighter, if you will, where they duck and all that stuff. But yeah, though granted, it's mainly the guys all doing the infiltrating, while Val and I believe Katina Kaz, will be the ones watching out on standby and all that stuff. But yeah, during this, Andor ends up telling Val that he'll be the one to end up piloting because he wants to make sure that he comes out of it alive, because he doesn't quite trust their skills and all that stuff. When they end up telling him to bridge the plan. They also end up destroying the model and burning it, I believe, at some point when the operation's about to begin, or they're about to head towards it. Oh, of course, I believe his name is Aval Scan eventually draws a knife to Andor and takes his Kyber necklace, realizing that he bought something expensive here, saying that, okay, who now finally, running his patience, asks Val who he is, with Andor, well, not revealing his name, but still going as Clem, saying that he was a hired mercenary, which clearly does not sit well with some of the other members, and that and Val says that this is the eternal truth, that she was told to bring him, otherwise the mission would have been off, and they have no choice but to use him and all that stuff. Of course, this causes tension, but of course the operation is already underway and all that stuff. As they split up, as she leaves, I believe, the one called Tarman to lead the others, since, well, he's the more disciplined and experienced member. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Lieutenant Gorn is ended up, scolding a bunch of, troops, telling them to get into positions and all that stuff. Meanwhile, indirectly sabotaging them so that his rebel allies can escape. Even, giving, I think, permission for some of them to take the day off, from what I can recall. So, there is that bit. Meanwhile, our, recurring antagonist, let me just get the episode summary up here. I think Sira Khan, I think, is spending some time with his mother, and they end up arguing about leadership and all that stuff. And even arguing about why she never visited him, even though it looks like it is Coruscant they're living on. I made a mistake not, thinking that was still the other planet. Even though she said he never really invited him, and all that stuff. And an open invitation is a no invitation, etc. With her saying that her son now lacks, job prospects due to the Ferrex incident and all that stuff. Which saying her that her Uncle Harlow can call a favor for him, which he is skeptical of doing. But she'll get him in touch, and I think we'll do some contact now. Whether or not now the identity of this Harlow has remained a mystery so far, but we have no idea what he's going to be offering, and whether or not recurring antagonist will end up doing so, oh no. Yes. Sirocania. Other than that, Mon Mothma is currently, meanwhile, Mon Mothma is currently establishing a new Chabotal foundation, but at the same time is dealing with tense relations with her husband and her daughter. Her husband is someone called Perrin Feather, and the daughter is called Leda Mothma, who actually was sourced in Legends, from my understanding. They never really made a full appearance, but I do know that she also had a brother called Jobin and all that stuff, who was apparently killed by Vader on Hoth. Now, whether or not this character will become canon remains to be seen, but you never know. Disney Star Wars does tend to bring back some legends when they see fit. Whether or not this will be one, who knows? But it's a very obscure reference, to say the least. But yeah, but she's still not quite happy with her husband, given the fact that given the whole two invites to the two people who are opposed to the Gamoran shipping lanes and all that stuff being cut off. But her relationship with her daughter, is currently not, going well, as she thinks that she's spending more time politics than caring about her. Imperial wise, we have the Imperial SISB supervisor Belvin acquired the hotel that was on the new headquarters on the planet Ferrex, showing us that we're probably going to still be dealing with this planet for the time being, leaving with his lieutenants and all that stuff. So my guess is that Andor's friend and mother will probably be dealing with him. That's my guessing. While his rival Mevo and her assistant Herat are doing investigations of all the rebel cell attacks and all that stuff. They all seem too random to be random, and realize that these are more coordinate cells, but they just need to let's see, they're doing some big heists of Imperial weapon and technology, and they need to prove it and all that stuff. With the last bit of thing is that Rao, after a bit of scolding from assistant to shut up shop to their shop for tomorrow, is just still waiting on, let's see, Andor's team to carry out the mission and all that stuff. Without telling him that, you'll be ready by, let's see, you'll find out tomorrow in the morning and all that stuff. Ending the episode. Let's see, and all that stuff, but yeah. Okay, let's see. First off, I like how we are learning pieces of this current team that Andor is going, and clearly the signs of trust and who's going to probably be the most trouble for Andor. The one, of course, being let's see, the one called Athel Skin, which his motivation against the Empire is revenge for his brother, which, yeah, revenge is a hell of a motivation, given some of the series I have read. So, yeah, I can see why he would do it, and why he would be skeptical of someone like Andor, given the fact that he's given his sort of mystery and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think it makes sense that he ends up being the one that forces Andor to at least expose some of the truth, or at least, let's see, that he is actually a mercenary that was hired for this job, if you will. Which, of course, causes distrust of the group. Though, granted, he went to a pretty extreme with a knife point and all that stuff. So, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if, let's see, Andor and him end up having a bit of a fight some point in the future, though who knows. Now, let's see. Now, I say probably of all the rebels, he is probably the most likely one to die, I think, story-wise, but I could be wrong, or they could end up alive. But I have a feeling that someone is end up going to die and all that stuff. And I also like that apparently that the two youngsters, or at least let's see, Karis Nemec is someone that is let's see. He's someone that truly does believe in the cause and all that stuff, and does believe in like rebelling against the Empire and all that stuff. And he's very eager to, show him his ideas and that stuff. I mean, it's a bit quick and complicated for me to remember what he said, but still. And he seems to be the most distraught at the fact that Andor is a mercenary and all that stuff, rather than someone that's actually fighting and dying for a cause. I also like let's see, hold on. Let's see, I also like let's see, Taraman Braka, who's like the more serious, let's see, who seemed to be apparently he was a former stormtrooper, apparently. But yeah. So he seems to be someone that, let's see, granted, so he seems to be someone that also lost the cause, besides, but let's see, but I'll get to that in a minute, but yeah. But this guy seems to be the one that's, let's see, but this explains why he's so good at Imperial training. It's interesting, that's also why that him and Andor clash when he did some suggestions about, let's see, who's left-handed, right-handed, and all that stuff. But yeah, I do like how he's remaining the most calm amongst, let's see, the members outside of Val about, let's see, Andor and all that stuff, and just making sure that he doesn't disobey, and if he does, he'll take care of him and all that stuff. But yeah, but he's the one in charge as the, let's see, as the group of 4 men of the rebels. Let's see, go in and infiltrate and all that stuff. I do like how Val and the other, let's see, Sunita Kat's the ones who are, let's see, staying on the outpost and all that stuff. I can probably see why, but That's yeah, to have the medic on standby and all that stuff, just in case someone gets wounded afterwards. But yeah, though I will say that sadly, I feel like we're not really getting much of her character, given the fact that she ended up just being described for the most part, and then you get some interactions, or at least enough interaction with Andor self and all that stuff. But yeah, and also I'd like the fact that we learn the motivation of Gorn, why that this former Imperial is now being a spy for a rebel self, and is that he found, and I think it's sort of like a, I suppose you could say it's a sort of Romeo and Juliet kind of style tragedy, and the fact that he fell in love with a native. The Empire wasn't happy about this and ended up killing her, so he became deluded with the cause and now wants revenge. And the best way to do that is to financially damage the Empire here, at least. At least do a blow in this sector. So I like that, and I like how he tries to be like the strict officer. Let's see. He even has a like nice moment looking in the mountains about how let's see when this other guy saying how it's all going to be demolished by Empire. Showing let's see one of the evils of the Empire being is not caring for like the natural landscapes of a planet and that stuff and destroying them for the sake of their imperial militia and pollutions and all that stuff. Let's see. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, and I do like how he ends up let's see, secretly sabotaging thing by sculling officers and just letting him deal with certain bits, not having them stay guards certain places. So there's that. Anyway, I do like how yeah, let's see, Cyril is currently having a very tense, let's see, talk with his mother, given the fact that they've not seen each other in a while, and the fact that despite his successful career, he didn't really, he was sort of a distant son, and he mistaken, let's see, what he thought it was open invitation, and she saw that as no invitation, and should have been a bit more warm about it, but yeah. But I do like how, even though they have a tense relationship, she is at least trying to get her son back on track and all that stuff, and getting his uncle Harlow, whoever that guy is, for we know he might be an Imperial, and he might get him some job in like let's see with like this SBI thing to like deal with Andor and all that stuff. I do think that's where he's going, but whether or not that's a job he is going to be offered or it's something else remains to be seen, and he just turns that one down. But yeah, I think that was nice as well. Anyway, I think it's actually nice that for Mon Mothma, we see her family and life and all that stuff. As this, let's see, in many ways, this episode, at least in let's see, television and movie media, has probably given us more about the character than we have ever really had in the movies and all that stuff. Look, granted, she was only a cameo in Return of the Jedi, deleted from Revenge of the Sith, and more of a support character in Rogue One. But yeah, I still like the fact that they got the Revenge of the Sith actress to come back, even though she was deleted in scenes and all that stuff. I actually heard that the original Mon Mothma actress was offering to play the young one's mother at some point. I can't recall if that I think that actress might have died now. I'm not sure, but I guess that's probably why we might not see that. But it would have been cool if it is. But yeah, I need to check on that bit. But yeah, I do like how we see the family tensions in a bit where she seems to become a bit distant with her husband and daughter, who's willing to go in activities with him, but not with Mon Mothma. And given her, let's see, the mission to secretly build a rebel cell against the Empire and all that stuff, hasn't given much time to spend with her, and she's become a bit, let's see, strained with like her mother and all that stuff. Even though she tries to some bits, but yeah. And the same case with the let's see, husband as well, if you will. But now, whether or not they both would approve of, let's see, forming a secret rebellion, I do not know. But we'll have to wait and see where this leads and all that stuff. For we know, when Mon Mothma openly declares a rebellion, they get arrested by the Empire. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. Anyway, I am a bit surprised that we're back on Ferrex a bit, but with the SBIS dude called Gavin and all that stuff, and he's setting up headquarters in the hotel thing. Well, berating one of his more amateur, subordinates, I guess, for asking blah blah for what he thinks was probably a stupid question, but he still answers it at least. But yeah, but this leads me to believe that this guy's going to have some conflict with like the locals here, particularly Andor's friend and adoptive mother. I've forgotten their names, I know, but yeah. Meanwhile, his rifle, I do like, is being a bit clever and discovering like, yeah, okay, these random attacks aren't, just random. They're being planned and all that stuff. And no doubt she's on her way to probably be taking, over his job and her rifle's job and all that stuff, or at least the authority on this incident, at least. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Also, I do like how, and to probably wrap it all off, I do like how Ral is just just really worried about Andor and whether or not he can actually succeed in this mission and all that stuff, as he just listens to what probably is arguably the transmissions, which is probably the equivalent of someone listening to a radio during like World War II and all that stuff. But yeah. Even an assistant tells him to relax and he needs to be ready to help with the shop and all that stuff. But yeah. But he's still just listening, even though after that advice and all that stuff, and really probably is hoping that Andor succeeds next day and all that stuff. I guess he wants this to be a success, given the fact he probably needs to report this to Mon Mothma. Overall, I think it's a good episode of building up the tension between Andor and his team and just preparing just for the operation, while building up some small subplots down the line in the later episodes, such as the character Finn, the former security, trying to find a job, Mon Mothma with her family drama, and the two SBI sisters setting up their own plans and all that stuff, as well as the mistrust between Andor and his group. But yeah, so yeah, overall, I give this episode probably an 8 out of 10, maybe an 8.5. It's a pretty good episode, and I'm looking forward to like the next episode, which, if I'm correct, I think most of the episodes are being either 3 or 2 parters, maybe 1. At least 3 of the episodes are being 3 parters or not. I need to double check. I know there's 12 episodes, but I know there's at least maybe 1 solo episode. I could be wrong, but yeah. But then next episode, I think we'll probably conclude this heist and then bring up to the next story arc. Who'll live, who'll die? Well, we know Andor is safe until like Rogue One, and that's also the same case with Mon Mothma for Return of the Jedi. Every other character, we'll just have to wait and see where they go. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this episode. I am Blue Star Saber. Signing off. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye, and may the Force be with you.